All right, dude, let's go. Number 10, IPTF-14HLS. In 2017, astronomer Iair Arcavi of UC Santa Barbara published a paper in Nature describing a supernova that refused to behave like one. The star, designated IPTF-14HLS, had been observed exploding in 2014. That was not unusual. What was unusual is what happened afterward. The supernova faded, as expected. Then it brightened again, then faded, then brightened. Over 600 days, it pulsed through at least 5 separate episodes of brightening. No known supernova model produces that behavior. The part that horrified stellar physicists is that supernovae are supposed to be final. A supernova is the death of a star. The core collapses, the outer layers are blown outward at thousands of kilometers per second. What remains is either a neutron star or a black hole. One event, one death, done. The star does not come back. That is the rule. Every stellar evolution model agrees on it. IPTF-14HLS broke the rule. When astronomers examined archival plates of the same location, they found something worse. A 1954 image showed an explosion at the same coordinates. If it is the same star, it exploded over 60 years before IPTF-14HLS was observed, and was still going, still detonating, still refusing to die. The leading proposed mechanism is pulsational pair instability, a process in which the core of an extremely massive star undergoes repeated thermonuclear detonations without fully destroying itself. But published models of this process cannot reproduce the observed light curve of IPTF-14HLS. The brightness variations are too irregular. The duration is too long. The energy output exceeds what the models predict. A star that exploded in 1954 and was still exploding in 2017. Supernovae are supposed to kill stars. This one didn't get the message. Number 9. OGLE-2011-BLG-0462. In 2022, astronomer Kailash Sahu of the Space Telescope Science Institute published findings in the Astrophysical Journal confirming the first detection of an isolated stellar mass black hole drifting through the Milky Way. Designated OGLE-2011-BLG-0462, it has a mass of approximately 7 solar masses. It is located roughly 5,000 light-years from Earth. It is moving at approximately 45 kilometers per second. The horrifying part is not that it exists, it's that it is invisible, it is moving, and there may be 100 million more. This black hole emits no light. It has no accretion disk, no jets, no radiation. It was detected only because it bent the light of a background star as it drifted in front of it, a technique called gravitational microlensing. Without that chance alignment, it would be undetectable. It would be there, massive and dark, warping space around it, and nobody would know. Astrophysical estimates suggest the Milky Way contains between 100 million and 1 billion stellar mass black holes. Most are remnants of massive stars that exploded as supernovae. Many were ejected from their birth systems by the asymmetric force of the explosion. They are wandering through the disk of the galaxy, through the halo, through the spiral arms, in every direction, with no star to orbit and no light to reveal them. If one passed through our solar system, you would not see it coming. You would not hear it. You would not detect it on any electromagnetic instrument. You would know it was there only when the orbits of the planets began to shift. Statistical models suggest a rogue black hole passes within a light-year of our Sun roughly every few 100 million years. An invisible black hole drifting through the Milky Way at 45 kilometers per second. We found one. The estimates say there are 100 million more. You cannot see them. You cannot detect them until they bend the light behind them. And they are everywhere. Number 8. Sagittarius A star. At the center of the Milky Way, 26,000 light-years from Earth, sits a supermassive black hole with a mass of approximately 4 million suns. Designated Sagittarius A star. For decades, it was considered dormant, quiet, barely feeding. Then it started waking up. The part nobody expected is that the black hole at the center of our galaxy is getting hungrier. In 2019, astronomer Tuan Do of UCLA observed Iair A star flare to 75 times its normal brightness in the near-infrared, the brightest flash ever recorded from the object. Subsequent monitoring by multiple teams, including Daryl Haggard's group at McGill University, has documented an increase in the frequency and intensity of X-ray flares over recent years. Something near the black hole is changing. In 2014, a gas cloud designated G2 made a close approach to SGR A star. Tidal forces stretched and distorted it. Some material may have begun spiraling inward, feeding the black hole for the first time in millions of years. The connection between G2 and the increased activity has not been definitively established, but the timing is suggestive. If SGR A star transitions from dormant to active, it would become what astronomers call an active galactic nucleus, an AGN. The jets and radiation it would produce would not threaten Earth at 26,000 light-years. The distance is too great, but it would mean the engine at the center of everything you have ever known, every star you have ever seen, every planet, every constellation, can turn on, has turned on before, and is showing signs of turning on again. The supermassive black hole at the center of your galaxy has been quiet for millions of years. It is getting brighter, more active, hungrier, and the engine at the center of everything you've ever known can turn back on. Number 7. SGR 1806-20. On December 27, 2004, multiple spacecraft including RESI and SWIFT detected a burst of gamma radiation from a magnetar designated SGR 1806-20, located approximately 30,000 light-years from Earth in the constellation Sagittarius. The burst lasted approximately 1/5 of a second. In that fraction of a second, it released more energy than the Sun emits in 250,000 years. The horrifying part is the distance, 30,000 light-years away, and it still affected the Earth. A magnetar is a neutron star with a magnetic field roughly a quadrillion times stronger than Earth's. It is the most intensely magnetized type of object in the known universe. SGR 1806-20 is roughly 12 miles in diameter, smaller than Manhattan, and for 1/5 of a second, it outshone everything in the observable universe in gamma rays. The burst traveled 30,000 light-years across the Milky Way and ionized a measurable portion of Earth's upper atmosphere. It was detected on the ground. Instruments registered the disturbance. An object smaller than a city on the other side of the galaxy reached across 30,000 light-years and physically altered the atmosphere you breathe. Multiple teams published analyses in Nature in 2005. The conclusions were consistent. If a magnetar of this power existed within approximately 10 light-years of Earth, a burst of this magnitude could strip the ozone layer. The radiation would be lethal to surface life, and there would be no warning. Gamma-ray bursts travel at the speed of light. You learn about them at the exact moment they arrive. The warning and the event are the same thing. A neutron star the size of Manhattan shook the Earth's atmosphere from 30,000 light-years away. In a 1/5 of a second. There are magnetars closer than that, and they don't announce when they fire. Number 5. The Boötes Void. In 1981, Robert Kirshner, Augustus Oehmler, Paul Schechter, and Stephen Schechtman published a study in the Astrophysical Journal describing a region of space unlike anything previously cataloged. A nearly spherical volume, approximately 330 million light-years in diameter, almost completely empty. Roughly 60 galaxies where approximately 2,000 were expected, a 97% deficit of matter. The horrifying part is not the emptiness, it's what the emptiness would do to you. 330 million light-years across. If the Milky Way were placed at the center of the Boötes Void, the universe would look nothing like the one you know. The Andromeda Galaxy would not be visible. The Virgo cluster would not exist in your sky. The Coma cluster, the nearest rich galaxy cluster, would be beyond detection. The night sky would be pure black, not the comforting black peppered with distant galaxies. Actual black. Empty. In every direction, for over 100 million light-years, nothing. We would not have known other galaxies existed until the 1960s, when instruments became powerful enough to detect objects at extreme distances. For the entirety of human history before that, we would have looked up and seen only our own galaxy, a single island in an ocean of nothing. We might have concluded we were the only galaxy in the universe, and with the evidence available to us, we would have been right. Standard cosmological models explain voids as natural products of gravitational evolution. Matter flows toward dense regions, leaving emptiness behind. But the Boötes Void is larger and emptier than standard simulations produce without extreme fine-tuning. Something about this region of space was evacuated more thoroughly than the models predict. 330 million light-years of almost nothing. If you were born inside it, you would think the universe was empty. The Boötes void is what the universe looks like when you remove the universe. Number 4. The Bullet Cluster. In 2006, astronomer Douglas Clough of the University of Arizona published a study in the Astrophysical Journal Letters using data from the Chandra X-ray Observatory and the Hubble Space Telescope. The subject was one E0657-56, two galaxy clusters that had collided approximately 150 million years ago. The collision had done something that no previous observation had achieved. It had separated the visible matter from the invisible matter. The horrifying implication is not the collision. It's what the collision proved about what the universe is actually made of. When the two clusters slammed into each other, the hot gas that makes up most of the visible matter in galaxy clusters collided and slowed down. Friction, resistance, normal behavior for normal matter. But the dark matter in each cluster passed straight through. No friction, no interaction, no resistance. It continued forward as if the other cluster's dark matter were not there. Gravitational lensing maps confirmed it. The majority of the mass was not where the gas was. It was ahead of it. The dark matter had separated from the visible matter and kept moving. For the first time, astronomers could see both components independently. They were not in the same place. Dark matter is not a mathematical abstraction. It is a substance. It has mass. It exerts gravitational force. And it does not interact with normal matter. Not with light. Not with gas. Not with you. It passes through everything like a ghost through a wall. Roughly 85% of all matter in the universe is this substance. It outweighs every atom, every molecule, every planet, every star, every galaxy you have ever seen or touched by a factor of 6 to 1. Everything you have ever experienced, every physical object you have ever known, is the 15%. The minority, the residue. You are not the main character of the universe. You are the rounding error. Dark matter is the universe. You are what's left over. Number 3. Hypervelocity stars. In 2005, astronomer Warren Brown of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics published a study in the Astrophysical Journal Letters confirming the first hypervelocity star. Designated SDSS J090745.0 plus 024507, it was traveling at approximately 850 kilometers per second, fast enough to escape the Milky Way entirely. The source of its velocity was traced to the galactic center, to Sagittarius, a star. The horrifying part is the mechanism. The supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy is throwing stars. The process is called the Hills mechanism, proposed by Jack Hills in 1988. A binary star system, two stars orbiting each other, passes too close to the supermassive black hole. The tidal forces are so extreme that the system is torn apart. One star is captured by the black hole. The other is flung outward at hundreds or thousands of kilometers per second, launched, like a stone from a sling. Except the stone is a star, and the sling is a 4 million solar mass black hole. Since 2005, dozens of hypervelocity stars have been confirmed. Some travel at over 1,700 kilometers per second. The Milky Way's escape velocity is roughly 550 kilometers per second. These stars are moving at triple escape speed. They will leave the galaxy. They will cross the void between galaxies. They will travel through intergalactic space, alone, for billions of years. No galaxy, no system, no companion. Just a single star moving through absolute emptiness until its fuel runs out and it dies in the dark between galaxies. The black hole at the center of your galaxy is not just sitting there. It is actively disassembling star systems and launching individual stars into the intergalactic void at over 1 million miles per hour. It has been doing this for billions of years, and the stars it has thrown will never come back. The black hole at the center of our galaxy is throwing stars out of the Milky Way at over 1 million miles per hour. They will travel through the void between galaxies forever, alone, until they die. Number 2. The Great Attractor. In 1986, astronomer Alan Dressler and a team informally known as the Seven Samurai published findings in the Astrophysical Journal Letters describing a gravitational anomaly of extraordinary scale. Located approximately 150 to 250 million light-years away in the direction of the Centaurus and Hydra constellations, something was pulling the Milky Way, Andromeda, and thousands of other galaxies toward it at approximately 600 kilometers per second. The horrifying part is that something is pulling us toward it at 600 kilometers per second, and we cannot see what it is. The Milky Way is not stationary. It is falling towards something, along with every galaxy within hundreds of millions of light years, all of them, moving in the same direction, toward the same point, at 600 kilometers per second. That is over 1.3 million miles per hour. The Great Attractor sits in a region partially blocked by the Milky Way's own galactic plane. The zone of avoidance. Dust, gas, and stars in our own galaxy obscure roughly 20% of the sky. The Great Attractor is hidden behind it. We know it is there because of the gravitational influence it exerts. We can measure the pull. We can calculate the direction. We can estimate the mass. But we cannot fully see what is doing the pulling. Subsequent observations have identified the Shapley supercluster, a massive concentration of galaxy clusters, lying beyond the Great Attractor's estimated position. Some of the gravitational pull may be attributable to Shapley, but the full mass distribution responsible for the large-scale flow of galaxies in our region of the universe has never been completely mapped. The picture is incomplete. The curtain is still partially drawn. Right now, the planet you are standing on is moving at 600 kilometers per second towards something hidden behind the dust of your own galaxy. You have been falling toward it for billions of years. Everything around you is falling with you, and nobody has fully mapped what is on the other side. Something is pulling the Milky Way, Andromeda, and thousands of galaxies toward it at 600 kilometers per second. It is hidden behind the Milky Way's dust. We cannot fully see it. We have been falling toward it for billions of years, and we are not slowing down. Number 1. The expanding distance. In 1998, two independent teams led by Saul Perlmutter of Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory and Brian Schmidt of the Australian National University published findings that would earn them the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2011. Using observations of Type 1, a supernovae, as standard candles, both teams confirmed that the expansion of the universe is not slowing down. It is accelerating. Something is pushing the universe apart, and it is getting faster. The most horrifying thing astronomers have found in the universe is the distance. Not because of how far things are, because the distance is growing. The observable universe has a boundary, not a wall, a horizon. Beyond 46.5 billion light-years in every direction, light has not had time to reach Earth since the Big Bang. Whatever exists beyond that horizon, you will never see it, never detect it, never know what it is, and the horizon is retreating. Galaxies beyond a certain distance are already receding faster than the speed of light, not moving through space faster than light. Space itself is stretching between you and them. The light they emit right now will never reach you. They are gone. Permanently. Every photon they send in your direction will be stretched into nothingness by the expansion of the space it has to cross. Those galaxies still exist. They are still burning. Stars are still forming in them. But for you, they are over. Erased. Not destroyed. Disconnected. Every second, the volume of universe that is permanently inaccessible to you grows. Stars that were visible a billion years ago are now beyond the horizon. Stars visible today will cross it in the future. The universe is not just expanding, it is erasing itself from your view. One galaxy at a time, one star at a time, one photon at a time. And it is not just out there, it is happening here. The space between the Milky Way and every galaxy not gravitationally bound to it is growing. Slowly. Silently. Andromeda will merge with us because gravity holds us together. Everything else is leaving. The Virgo cluster, the Coma cluster, the Shapley supercluster, the Great Attractor itself. All of them will eventually cross the horizon. All of them will become unreachable. The universe you can see tonight is the largest it will ever be. From this point forward, it only gets smaller. You are not at the center of the universe. You are at the center of a shrinking circle of visibility inside an expanding void. Every galaxy that crosses the horizon takes its light with it. Its stars, its planets, its history. Gone. Not destroyed, just permanently beyond reach. And the distance between you and everything else grows larger every second. Not because anything is moving, because the space between is stretching. The distance was always the most horrifying thing astronomers found. Not because of how far things are, but because the distance is getting bigger, and nothing in the universe can stop it. If you want to see more videos like this, click the video on screen now and make sure to subscribe.